Hi guys, thanks for watching. My name is Samantha Colicchio. I'm your video hostess for the Hidden Tears project. And I'm here with Ilaria Borelli, the director and star of A Girl from the Brothel, which is a story about a woman who rescues 3 young girls from a brothel in Cambodia. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for this interview.
Yeah. So you are an Italian filmmaker. Why make a movie about trafficking in Cambodia? What initially attracted you to the subject?
First of all, I became a mother 10 years ago, and then I was traveling a lot in poor country because my husband is an anthropologist, and I just couldn't bear anymore the fact that there are so many children, in this horrible situation, and I was really so much enraged. I wanted to do something. I wanted to try to do something. So I know I can make film, and this was my way to try to sensitize people.
Excellent. So the subject matter is extremely difficult, very intense. Was this a difficult movie to fund? Were financiers excited and willing to kind of dive into this subject matter, or was it something that you kind of had to coax people into and get them excited about it?
First of all, I was so much enraged. I was crying so much. I wanted to shoot as soon as possible. I didn't want to wait the classic. The classic thing to go to producer and wait months to have the money. So we just opened crowdfunding on the net, and we really shot with very, very small amount of money. We shot with $50,000, and and this film was well received in a lot of international festivals. It was screened twice at the United Nations. It was screened at the European Parliament, at the Italian Parliament. It was in 200 theaters. So I think when the story is important and necessary, it doesn't matter how much money you have to tell the story. It is really much more important to tell the story than to wait for money from producer. It is possible. It is possible to shoot with little money.
Amazing. You have cast more than 3, but mainly 3 wonderful young Cambodian actresses, including Seta Monirath. What was the casting process like? How did you meet Cambodian locals and get them involved?
Actually, of course, none of these actors was an actor before. They are non-actors because I couldn't pay real actors. For the little girls, I approached directors of school because I couldn't cast easily, by myself. It was difficult to convince family to give me little girls to tell the story of small little prostitutes. So I asked director of schools to help me. So they talked to the parents, and the parents finally were convinced to bring the girls for the casting. I casted more than 100 little girls. And they were all from normal schools. They were not at all real little girls coming out from prostitution, because I think is very immoral to use real pain, just to make a film. I was interviewing little girls that really came out from prostitution, but I didn't want to use them in the film, of course. So when I started the casting, I always had the parents with me, and we agreed with parents not to talk explicitly about sex. So I was using a metaphor. I was saying that there are places where men pay to watch children to be tortured, but I never really explicitly talked about sex. And also during the shooting, we always had a parent or a teacher with the girls on the set, so they were continuing to study, and we are still in contact with them. We are paying their education until they are 18-year-old. Yes, because I shoot a lot with children, in poor countries, and for them it's very heartbreaking when we go away, because there is this bonding, and so we thought with my husband, that was a good way to continue the legacy. And of course we are in contact through Facebook, and my dream is to bring the 3 of them in the Western world one day, to have the money to make them fly here in a festival or premiere, this would be great for them.
Amazing. Now, you just spoke a little bit about meeting survivors, interviewing them. What was that process like? How did you get in contact with girls who had been trafficked, and what did that look like?
Yes, I was in contact with a few humanitarian organizations in Cambodia. The most important is ECPAT for me, because they are really, really brave. And Children Trafficking and Prostitution is a global organization, all over the world. And I asked this organization to let me talk to a few of these girls, but honestly, for me it was so emotional. I couldn't interview many of them, because I didn't want to torture them, I didn't want to ask them to remember horrible things. So I really met, I think, 3 of them, and it was enough for me, because all the information, all the stories, I could get them anyway from these incredible volunteers that work for humanitarian organizations there all over the world. We should talk more about these volunteer people that, they really do the work sometimes in some countries that police should do, They break into brothels, they risk their life sometimes to save children. So I wish, we could talk more about this hero in film.
So this is a very sensitive topic to bring to these communities, and you're shooting in these communities, and they're getting wind, this is about trafficking. Was there any backlash from these communities where you were shooting? Were people angry that you were talking about this? Yeah.
Yes, it was very, very scary. There was one moment that, we had these 3 very mean people arriving on the set and asking for money, because otherwise they will shut down the shooting, and they were saying, we are sent from the minister, or I don't remember, but it was a lie, and so you have no right to speak bad about our country. And so little as the discussion goes on, we understand that of course they want money, and but it was pretty scary, because they were not nice people. So we tried to delay the moment to give them money, because local people told us, if you start to give money, they will ask more and more. So actually local people were very, very protective of us. We are just 7 when we go to shoot from Western world. So we train them there on a local place. We train local people to help us in the crew. So they were, they were earning money with us. They were learning how to make film. So they were very, very happy, So they were really very protective of us and of the shooting of the film. They were very protective. Actually, they were giving us suggestions. Don't shoot here because they're coming here. So let's shoot in another place today, because. So it was very, very interesting. When we go in the country where we want to shoot, we generally do a kind of school 2-3 weeks before the shooting, so that local people can help us on the shooting. And after, when we leave, it's nice because they send us their documentaries, they send us their videos about, a grandfather dead in the Khmer Rouge war, or so you feel that you leave something. This is nice, because I think a lot of time we shoot, and it's like stealing something from them and don't leave anything. So it's nice to leave something.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some actions that you would like people who watch this film, A Girl from the Brothel, to take when they come to your premiere on May 10th? What would you like them to go out and do?
First of all, with the screening of The Girl from the Brothel, we helped to build a school in Phnom Penh for little girls coming out from prostitution. So if anyone wants to make donation for the school, or wants to make a donation for my next film that is about, The Goat is about a little girl escaping forced marriage in Africa, in Ethiopia. So if anyone wants to make a donation, or for a humanitarian project, or for the film, they can contact me on Facebook personally under my name, Ilaria Borelli, or under my foundation, French foundation. They can donate if they want for my next film. My foundation is French. I'm sorry. Is Les Yeux Ouverts. You can find it on Facebook under LYO. You just put LYO and you find us, and it's very easy to donate for us or for the humanitarian project that we follow. For instance, for the next one, we want to follow. Actually, we want always to work really together with humanitarian organization. We are following. They want to build an hospital in Congo for little girls suffering this horrible sickness. Fistula is a huge humanitarian problem. Is little girls that are raped or they are forced to deliver when they are very small. Actually, they have the uterus all broken, so they need to be sued. And there are no enough, of course, hospitals. So we are helping to build a hospital in Congo to cure these girls. So people can decide if they want to donate for the hospital or if they want to donate for the making of the film. I think that making film is very important to create awareness. A lot of people don't even know that exists children prostitution or the problem of the fistula. They don't even know that there are, I don't know, for example, 5 million more forced marriage every year, that there are 70,000 little girls, minor girls, dying of delivery every year. Nobody knows that there are 40 million minors in prostitution. Only in America, in North America, there are 600,000 minors in prostitution. So I think that films can be a very good way of spread awareness. And so after it's up to the people what to do, but you find plenty of places where you want to donate. I always also suggest to really do kind of a humanitarian vacation traveling, meaning that instead of paying the hotel, perhaps you can pay a house, a real family, a real house, and live with them and try to understand what are the problems and perhaps make a personal connection. We do a lot of this. We give money to people that we really know, so that we can follow them personally, especially we give, of course, money to little girl education because it's really in poor countries. For me, is the most important thing we should do is to help girls to go to school, because when there is poverty, boys are still sent to school, but girls are the first that has to sacrifice. So they have to marry, they have to, they are sold. And of course, with no education, of course, a human being has no future. So I suggest to give money to little girls' education. If you know personally, I think is the best way to help. But also some great humanitarian organization. I'm very, very respectful of ECPAT and the children trafficking and prostitution. But also, for example, Caritas is doing a great job, and UNICEF, always the same, the well-known, humanitarian organization. Whatever is the way, the important is to try to help.
Yes, absolutely. Ilaria Borelli, thank you so much for this interview. A Girl from the Brothel is going to be screened on May 10th at the UCLA Theater, the James Bridge Theater at 7:30 p.m. Please come. It's going to be an amazing premiere. It's an incredible movie.
And the entrance is free.
and there's no fee to come in, so excellent. Thank you so much. Anything else
Samantha.
you'd like to say to people watching?
Well, try to come to theater to see important film and social issues film that will open our eyes on the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.